If you follow me on social media, you would know I recently went on a trip to my home country, Finland, to visit some friends and family. Whilst there, I met up with a group of friends, which includes content creators Finka and Hietsu. While there, they talked about this new animated movie on Netflix about a K-pop group that hunts demons, and it piqued my interest, so I told them I would check it out and make a video on it. And well, here I am. In recent years, K-pop has been booming in the mainstream, but personally I am not a big fan of K-pop. While the music often is great, I am just not a fan of the overly clean production style that comes with it, which is perfectly fine. It is not my cup of tea and we all have different preferences. I personally like it when music gets dirtier and when there are imperfections intentionally left into the music to stick out more and artists aren't afraid to explore something different. I recently watched a short of music producer Porter Robinson regarding a synth hook in his song Cheerleader. For a long time, I couldn't tell why I liked the hook so much, but he in this short explained that he struggled with it for a bit until he played a false note. That meaning he played a note that is out of key from the song, which normally would sound awkward and just wrong if done incorrectly, but in this case, it was perfect.
Did I steal this from somewhere? Like, this is so good. I'm like, oh my god, like the next week of my life, I'm gonna feel incredible because I've made this. I think one of the revelations for me was this like sort of false note here, which that's not quite in key.
It gives the hook this feeling of being somewhat broken in combination with it being loud and incredibly distorted, but it's just such an incredibly well made hook. And I personally really like that. But I am also, again, a sucker for that type of production where it is more gritty, more dirty, more distorted. So yeah, K-pop was never really my cup of tea. I have heard a few songs I have enjoyed here and there, but nothing that has gotten me fully interested and invested into the genre. I feel as if this is important to talk about though, as the movie this video is about is very much related to K-pop, so I feel it is important for me to mention this, but I also want to inform you that I went into the movie with an entirely open mind and was pleasantly surprised. Let's dive into the movie. Normally when I make videos like this, I try to avoid spoilers, but for this video I won't be, so be aware of spoilers. The movie is about a group of 3 K-pop idols by the name of Rumi, Mira, and Zoe, who together form the group Huntrix. Huntrix are an incredibly popular K-pop group that performs music whilst hunting demons, as hundreds of years prior, demons would hunt and steal human souls, but then they were sealed away, and so now there has to be groups of 3 women that can perform together while slaying demons that get through the seal to keep all the humans safe, and to also strengthen the seal. We are introduced to Huntrix as their plane doesn't land at its destination, and we see the girls stuff an unrealistic amount of food in their mouths. Oh, and I also paused on this still unintentionally and just thought it was funny and wanted to show you. Like, it stops on her face for a moment. I just find it funny that I paused on it, like, just as they switch to this facial expression. The girls realize that demons have taken over the plane and hunt them down, where we get to see the first action sequence of the movie. And I am gonna have to say that the action sequences in this movie are amazing through and through. Like, literally all of them have amazing choreography. That's not the right way to pronounce that word, is it? Choreography. I'm gonna keep that taken just because it's kind of funny. We are also, during this section of the movie, introduced to their manager, who is probably my favorite character in the movie. He is very much there to be the comedic relief character, but he is perfect for the role, and I really like the way they wrote him, as well as the way he is performed. Soon after the intro section of the movie, we are introduced to the demon Genu, a man who has come up with an idea to the Demon King on how they can get through the seal which Huntrix protects, so they can steal human souls. Genu proposes that they create, wait for it, a boy band. Dun dun dun. That is actually no joke how I wrote it in the script, so bear with it, I guess. The Demon King is against the idea and questions Genu's motives, as Genu has never helped him before. However, gets convinced by Genu just singing a little. I'm sorry, what? How does that convince him? Also, no one has thought of this prior? I have so many questions regarding this part of the plot, but let's not dwell on that. I mean, it's very much a movie that is partially directed at kids, so weird plot points like that are expected, I guess. Let's move on. If you expect the story of this movie to be special, don't. The story of the movie is incredibly plain and does lean into many tropes, and if you are like me who normally prefers deeper plots with well-written characters, dialogue, and a great plot twist, then this is not your movie. Unless you really like K-pop, which if you do, enjoy it. I know a lot of people feel awkward about liking K-pop. I've talked to a lot of people that do, and there is nothing wrong with that. If you enjoy it, just enjoy it. That is perfectly fine, and I really want to preface that. There is nothing wrong with that. The movie does very much try to lean towards and capture a younger audience, which does make it turn into a fairly typical save the world good versus evil kind of story, which is perfectly fine with the right approach. I have previously on this channel talked about how generic and plain stories can be fine and made up from other aspects of the media. I have previously on this channel talked about how generic and plain stories can be fine and can be made up for in other aspects of the media in question. In this case, I personally find the movie to struggle with making up for the story, especially with how the story sets up for so many interesting and deeper potential plot points and then just abandons them. Like, the plot has so much potential to be something special, but drops it at every chance it gets to go down a more generic and expected route for the sake of being safe, and in all honesty, probably also due to time, as the movie is only 1 hour and 35 minutes long. The dynamic between Gino and Rumi is a great example of this. One of the main points of the plot is that Rumi is a half-demon and hides said fact from everyone else as she believes they won't trust her. And so she wants to seal away the demon so that she can cleanse herself from her demonic half. After Rumi meets Gino for the first time, she realizes that he is a demon, and she, along with Zoe and Mira, chase after him. However, they get attacked by a large group of demons. Rumi chases Gino on her own during this segment, and Gino sees that she is a demon as her jacket gets torn up and demons have markings on their skin that humans don't have. Gino helps Rumi hide the fact that she is a demon, and a romantic subplot starts forming. He is forced to trick her into doing something that would destroy the world. She accepts that she is a demon and decides to be herself and appreciate who she really is, even though the woman who raised her made it very clear that she should be disgraced of her demon half and she needs to cure it, and that her friends won't trust her if they find out that she's a half demon. She then goes to find a way to save the world last second. Gino would betray the Demon King to save her. Yeah, it is kind of funny that I predicted this much of the movie for the first time. Rumi and Gino had a one-on-one discussion. I am not joking. Like, these are my notes from watching the movie, as I took notes of my thoughts when watching it, so I could look at them when writing this script. Gino is trying to trick her, no? As in telling her half-truths. Gino is going to decide to help her at the last second during the climax of the movie, no? And then I wrote, everything is going to break apart and goes wrong. The world is about to end, and last second the main girl will find a way to purify every demon by creating a new young moon or whatever it's called. Yeah, those were my notes when watching the movie before I even finished it. This was what I wrote when they had their first one-on-one discussion with each other. I mean, they did a fine job for what they had to run with. I'm just a bit sad that they always take the easy and predictable way out instead of doing something more interesting and something deeper. But it also just kind of feels like they are following a formula that most movies similar to this one uses, which is a shame, as I think it removes from the individuality and potential of the movie. I want to highlight something real quick. These criticisms do not mean I think the movie is bad. Movies can be good while being predictable and while following tropes. It's just a shame with some of the ideas that you see in this movie that are just never really used. When it comes to the cast of the movie, I think they did a great job. I don't really have anything bad to say about the performances, especially Ken Yeong, I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name, who plays the manager for Hunter X, as I love the energy that he brought to the character, as it's perfect. The soundtrack is fine. I am again not a big fan of K-pop, but the production quality and performances by artists are amazing, and so if you enjoy K-pop, you'd probably love it. It's just not my cup of tea. I actually did really like Free, which is the duet between Gino and Rumi, and it is certainly my favorite song on the soundtrack. Oh, and also before we move on, oh my god, the cat is adorable! My general conclusion of the video is that the movie is good in my opinion, but nothing great and nothing that special. But that is just my opinion, and the movie is very clearly not directed at me as an audience, so it is expected for me to not enjoy it as much as others. With that being said, one last thing I have to say before wrapping up the video. I know I haven't uploaded anything in a while. Some of you guys have probably been wondering where I've been, especially considering that I've wanted to be more active, and I believe I've actually posted on social media about wanting to be more active. I just want to say that I have been sick for about 2 months now, and I am still not fully recovered. I do still have some issues health-wise. I do have 2 videos in the works, actually. Aside from just this one. So there will be more videos coming soon, hopefully. And yeah, we also recently uploaded a new video on our group channel 3 Goons for like Pokemon type of content, where we turned our friend's Nuzlocke and second ever playthrough of a Pokemon game into a drinking game. So if you want to see things go very wrong there, feel free to watch that, because we did not make a great choice there. I do not recommend turning someone's Nuzlocke into a drinking game, okay? With that said, I wish you all a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.